Hey guys, I will be reviewing the comic books that I picked up on 8/14/2019, coming up next. What's up comic book fans, my name is Bruce Monroe and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Comic Book Reviews, a weekly series where I review the comic books that I picked up at my local comic book shop, and this week was August 14th, 2019. It's August 15th right now, so I'm a day behind on this recording, but I gotta tell you guys, this move, the move that I just did is still, it's done, but the unpacking part is not done. I'm not spending every night unpacking, but there is a good amount of stuff left to unpack, mainly in the basement, trying to get that organized so that way we can start building that wall to set up my shoot space. So a lot of work left to be done, and I just want to apologize for being a day late, but let's not waste any more of your time. Let's jump right into the books that I picked up at my local comic book shop, and those books are Once in Future, #1, Unearth, #2, The White Trees, A Blacksand Tale, #1, The Amazing Spider-Man, 27, Powers of X, #2, Silver Surfer Black, #3, Batman and the Outsiders, #4, Batman Universe, #2, Collasper, #2, Detective Comics, #1009, and Event Leviathan, #3. Alright guys, first up we have Once in Future, #1. This is written by Karen Gillian and art by Dan Mora. And the reason why I picked this book up is it was actually, there was an early review out by Joe Ryan Comics. I watched that and I was like, you know what? I gotta pick this book up. And it was a good book. The main kind of core of the story is fantasy, and it's kind of about a grandmother and a grandson who, and the grandmother you find out is a monster hunter. And I don't want to say anything more than that, but I really enjoy that kind of story. Grimm, that was on NBC, I really enjoyed that TV series, and that was kind of about that kind of thing, the Grimm hunting werewolves and other magical beings, and that concept is really fun to me, and that's why the reason that I picked this book up. Overall, the book was excellent. I really enjoyed the book, and I look forward to picking up the future issues. I think this is a 6-issue run, and the art in this book was absolutely excellent by Dan Mora. The one negative about this book, I just felt the story moved a little fast. There were points where I wish there was more details to what was happening in the book and to the character, not to, in the book, but happening to the characters, and a little more information about what given about their motives and why they were doing the things they were doing. Other than that, this is an excellent book. It's a #1, so I highly suggest you guys pick this book up because it was really, really fun, and it's a great jumping in point. All right, up next we have Unearth, #2. This is written by Cullen Bunn and Kyle Stram, and art by Baldemar Rivas. This book is weird. I don't know how else to explain it. And again, one of the main reasons why I picked this book up because it was written by Cullen Bunn. I like the work that he was doing on Venom after Donny Cates took a break from that, I believe, to work on Absolute Carnage. But yeah, it's just weird. This issue, the plague / virus / alien thing that's happening was just spreading, and our scientists were down in the cave and they were dealing with that, and yeah, it was just weird. The art is okay, it's not bad, and if you're into, I guess, like a kind of sci-fi creepy horror type story, this might be your jam. But to me, it's just really weird, and the writing is okay. It's not terrible, it's not great. I can't highly suggest this book. I'm not like, guys, go pick up this book, but it's interesting. It's only issue #2, and I definitely saw issue #1 still on the shelf. So if you want to pick up this book, it's good. It's not great. It's good. So that's my review. It's good. Next up, we have The White Trees, a Blacksand Tale #1. This was picking up because I saw the writer. This is written by Chip Zdarsky and art by Chris Akana. And just because it was written by Chip and I kind of liked the cover of it, it looked like kind of like fantasy-esque. I was into it. I flipped through a couple pages, and I'll show you guys. This is like one of the pages I opened up at the comic book shop. I was like, you know what? Fantasy with you know, not humans, even though they're humanoids. I'm into it. It's my jam. I like that kind of stuff. And it was a decent story. I looked on the back and I saw it's only 1 of 2, which is kind of a bummer. Hopefully this story goes on after that. But there is a shocker in here. I didn't see this when I picked it up. You will see it is for mature readers. There is some hardcore sex in here, and I was not expecting that. I was on the subway to work. I flipped the page, and there is genitalia for everyone to see, and there's a lot of it. And it didn't necessarily go with the story. They definitely could have insinuated it and not shown it, and I think it would have had the same effect. But who am I to say that, you know, every once in a while, I guess, sex sells. Overall, it was a good read. There's only 1 more issue. Hopefully it goes on after that, because again, the characters were definitely interesting. I like the story they were building up, especially with the main character. It was good, and the artwork is excellent. Chris kind of crushed it. He did a really, really good job. All right, up next we have Spider-Man number 27. This is written by Nick Spencer and art by Kev Walker. This continues the story. Oh, what was their name? I think they were not the Crime Syndicate, but there's a female. It's missing. It's escaping my brain. I can't see it. I'm just gonna move on. It's a gang of female characters, and it's something syndicate, I believe, what they're calling themselves. And they're, I don't want to say knockoffs, but they're copies or versions of male supervillains that are in female form. All for that. That's super cool. The story is overall kind of cheesy. They're all going after Boomerang, and you find out a reason why this team was formed and what's happening. And once it happened, I was like, oh yeah, I get that. That's why. But it was a decent story. Kind of had, the story isn't over, but there was a little twist at the end that I thought was really good. Not loving Nick Spencer's run. I was really digging it during the whole Hunted story, but after that, it's kind of like, decent read. Writing was okay. Art was good. I really enjoyed the art. This is more of like, definitely more Spidey to me. But overall, okay. Definitely, this is another book that I wouldn't highly suggest anyone go pick up. If you're a Spider-Man fan and you want to see what's going on, this is a good, you pick up last issue and this year kind of into the current arc. But, I would skip it for most people. All right, this is one of the big books of the week. We have Powers of X number 2. This is written by Jonathan Hickman and art by R.B. Silva. So much information in this book. A lot of information. So this is, again, Powers of X. You're jumping from past, present, 10 years in the future, and 100 years in the future, and maybe even 1,000 years in the future. So there's just a lot going on, and you're jumping from teams that are alive and now, and the characters that we know, and then clones of these people, and they have different attributes. It's just crazy. And the last few pages of this book were just information explaining about some of the characters that we saw in this book, and it's just like so much information. I love that about Jonathan Hickman. I love getting reading these things and being like, wait, who is this? What is this? What's happening? And he just gives you all this download of information. It's a lot. It's super cool. The art by R.B. Silva is absolutely incredible. I am completely on board and completely sold on this run. I'm super excited to see where this X-Men is going to go in the future. What his plans are. Yeah, this is like, you know, one of the pages that is just like, again, like a picture up top, tons of writing down below. It was really fun. Highly suggest you guys pick this book up. It's number 2. I would highly suggest also going picking up House of X number 1 and 2, and then Powers of X number 1 and 2. Up next, we have Silver Surfer Black number 3. This is written by Donny Cates and art by Tradd Moore. First couple issues. First issue, I was, second issue, I was definitely on board. This issue, I am completely sold. I am loving this book. It's super cool. The art, I didn't love in the first issue. I was like, man, this is kind of like really, really stylized, really crazy. But now, the story that Donny Cates is telling, this fits perfectly. I am super enjoying this story. I'm super excited to see where this goes. Silver Surfer is now on Ego, the living planet. Ego was helping healing him after his last battle. And we find out that Ego is there's an infection in him. Silver Surfer tries to help. I don't want to say anything else. Super cool twist of the story. Donny Cates is an excellent writer. Tread Moore is crushing it on this art. Again, it took me a couple issues to get into that art style, but this book is super good. And it's, I believe, going to help lead into some things for Absolute Carnage. If it doesn't, still dealing with Null, which is in Absolute Carnage. So super cool stuff. Highly suggest you guys pick up this book. It's really, really fun. First DC book up, we have Batman in the Outsiders, number 4. This is written by Brian Hill and art by Dexter Soy. What do I say about this book? I would say this is a good book. It's not a great book. I've enjoyed Batman in the Outsiders previous runs a little bit more, but this is only issue 4, and I'm super excited to see where this goes because I do like the team that Batman has put together. I like Ra's al Ghul. I think he's a great villain. And I do like what he's doing, what Brian Hill is doing with the team. He's kind of separated them. He's given them all kind of issues that they need to work through, and they need to, each character is going to help another character overcome that issue. And that's actually really cool because it's not just forcing this team together and they're automatically going to come together, or they're going to come together after one tumble. All these characters have big issues to deal with, and they're all going to kind of help each other overcome those issues and to be a stronger, better team. And that's a really cool concept that this book is doing. If it comes through in his soul at the end, who knows? But also the art by Dexter Soy is great. It's a little, I want to say anime-esque to me. I don't know anime well, but this kind of reminds me of it. But it's a really good book. I'm enjoying the story. It's not the best story, but it's good enough to keep me picking this book up. And like I said, it's a really cool concept of what he's doing with the team that he has chosen to be in this book. So I like it. I'm a Batman fan. And like I said, I pick up everything Batman. So definitely pick this book up if you are a Batman fan or you're just into team books. Like I said, it's a really good concept, and I'm excited to see where it goes. All right, next up, we have Batman Universe number 2. This is written by Brian Michael Bendis and art by Nick Durrington. Sorry if I said that wrong. This is I want to say it's a reprint of a Walmart exclusive that they're now finally releasing in, I'm gonna sneeze. Whew, I apologize if I do. But this is a really fun book. I really enjoy, this is not in continuity, it's kind of like in its own little story. It's Batman and Green Arrow. I really enjoy how Brian Michael Bendis is writing Green Arrow. It's this whole mystery that Batman is trying to solve, and Green Arrow is there. And there's some really funny moments between Batman and the Green Arrow. And I'm super excited to see where this goes. I wasn't expecting to enjoy Brian Michael Bendis' first run on Batman, especially knowing that this is a reprint of a Walmart book. I don't know why I was looking down. I was like, wait, it's a Walmart exclusive? Like, why? But it was really good. I actually am really, really enjoying this book, and I would definitely suggest everyone pick up this book. It's super fun. I think you can probably find the Walmart originals still out there, but number 1 and 2 down at your local comic book shop, definitely pick those up. All right, next up we have Collasper number 2. This is written by Mikey Way and Sean Simon, and art by Elias. I'm just going to put the name up on screen. You guys can figure out how to pronounce that because I don't want to butcher it because I have no idea how to say that. I did not review number 1, so let's just jump in right into number 2. This is a very interesting book. It's It's a new character for DC, and this is on the Young Animal imprint for mature readers. It's pretty crazy. It's dealing with a character who has some previous mental health issues and does not look highly upon himself, and he's constantly questioning himself, and he gets this superpower from his mom who died, and her friends or somehow someone took the power that she had and sent it to him, and now he has it and it's driving him crazy. He doesn't know what's real, what's not real, and it's definitely kind of like an interesting story. I don't love it, I don't hate it. I'm really interested into seeing where this goes. I love Gerard Way. I'm interested to see where his brother's going to take this character. I really enjoy the art by Elias. Sorry, my phone's down here with all my notes. And yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes. It's kooky and crazy, and I love kooky and crazy. It's definitely mature because there's definitely lots of blood and guts and all kinds of stuff. So if you're interested to read something new and different, I would check out Collasper. This is issue number 2. It's not the best jumping in point because obviously there's an issue number 1, but you should be able to find 1 and 2, and it was a fun read. I really enjoyed it. All right, next up we have Detective Comics number 1009, so close to 1010. This is written by Peter J. Dasami and art by Christian Deuce. Interesting book. Most of the book we actually get Bruce Wayne and not Batman, which was actually pretty cool. And we get to see Bruce acting as Bruce, who is that douchey, billionaire playboy, even though he's like, he got to be in his 30s. Who knows how old Bruce Wayne is. We get Deadshot, and overall, it's a cool story. I don't know where they're going with it. At the end of the book, the characters are kind of... Oh, I don't want to ruin anything. The big thing, it was just Bruce Wayne out of the suit for most of the book, and that was really fun. I'm interested to see where the story goes. It's going to have a Dr. Freeze element. It's going to have the villain element, so I'm going to continue picking this up. It's definitely not a good jumping in point, but if you're into Batman and you want to read more Batman, Detective Comics number 1009 was a good read. All right, last book of the week, probably my pick of the week, Powers of X. I was super excited to read that, but there was so much information that was so dense. This was a nice, somewhat light read because there was a lot of art and you had to look at all the panels to get everything. But this is Event Leviathan number 3, written by Brian Michael Bendis and art by Alex Maleev. And this is an excellent summer blockbuster. I love what he's doing, what Brian Michael Bendis is doing with this book. It's a great mystery. He's tearing down the whole spy, CIA organization, like everything, Shade, I want to say S.H.I.E.L.D., but all the things that govern the DC universe, he's tearing them down, and there's nothing left. And, Amanda Waller was a huge part of that, and she's a part of this book, this issue especially, and it was really, really good. Dealt a lot with the Red Hood, too, and I personally am a Red Hood fan. They brought him back 5 years ago, or more or less than that, and I was really excited for them to bring him back, especially when they made him into the Red Hood and not just Robin or just Jason Todd. And he's like, he's not afraid to kill, he uses guns, and I really like that anti-hero part of him, but they just kind of haven't done, in my personal opinion, a great job of writing him. And I'm really, really enjoying what Brian Michael Bendis is doing. And Alex Maleev's art is incredible. In this book, the team of detectives thinks that the Red Hood is Leviathan. We don't know if he is or he isn't at the end of this issue. It's just a really great book. And look at these panels by Alex Maleev. It was so good. Yeah. And I love the end of this book. It is so good. So good. But yeah, that's going to do it for this week, guys. That's my reviews. Not my normal smooth self. self. But that's going to do it for this week. If you guys like these reviews, please let me know down in the comments. Did you agree with what I said? Did you disagree with what I said? Are you guys reading books that you think I should be reviewing, or at least that I should be reading? Let me know down in the comments. I'd really like to hear from you guys. And as always, if you guys like this video, you guys know what to do. Smash that like button! And if you guys are not subscribed, please get yourself subscribed to the channel. Really, really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.